Konnichiwa everybody, welcome back to yet another episode. I'm punching them out lately, as you've probably guessed. I don't know, there seems to be so much stuff to get through. I don't know, like VRs and pickups and on tour and I don't know. Anyway, people will be sick of watching nowadays. But anyway, this is a pickups video. And just for you, Mark, I've got the knees out. Right. Well, we've got another mixed bag here, really. And we've also got a true, genuine Holy Grail item. As the title might suggest. But obviously, I'm going to leave that till last. Right, so what else have we got? We've got Xbox 360. Don't switch off. It's not green spine shit. It's actually decent. We've got PS2, we've got PS1 and a Saturn and a Dreamcast, I think. So a bit of a mixed bag. Anyway, we'll start off with the 360. So if you really don't want to watch that, you can skip this bit. However, it's not run-of-the-mill rubbish. It is actually decent, in my opinion. As many of you know, if you've been watching a while, I'm on a bit of a shooting game journey. Having never really bothered with them much in the past, and I'm exploring them on various systems really, and it's just it's a massive rabbit hole, and it's only getting deeper, wider, and more expensive, in honesty. And anyway, it's led me to the 360 shooters, which is what we've got here. And the first one I've picked up is Akai Katana. It's a cave game. Now I haven't ventured into bullet hells before. And if I'm honest, I've only played it a bit. And I'm not doing very well with it, if I'm honest. I mean, it looks amazing. And it is very good. I like it. But quite what's going on, I'm not 100% sure. I need to play this more and investigate how to play it. So if you've got any tips, let me know, because I'm a bit clueless, to be honest. But I mean, it's brilliant. And you've got to watch, if you are looking to get this, is this the, oh no, sorry, scratch that. That's the next one. It is nice and complete. This is the, oh no, this was an eBay purchase. It's not actually a fortune, you know, being as it's a shooter. There's only about 5 on the UK PAL 360 that you can buy shooters before you start looking into the non-region locked import stuff. Which is why I've started with these. It's about 20 quid from memory, this, the going rate on the 360, but I mean, it's excellent. Right, then the final 360 game. So you've probably got an idea of what this might be, or at least one of 4. And I've picked up Dodonpachi Resurrection. Now this one's a bit more expensive. I think this is around 30 to 40 quid, I think, going rate for this one. CEX actually sell this a bit cheaper, which is where I got it from. They happen to have one in one of my local ones. So I ran down there, couldn't find it on the shelf, asked the guy behind the counter, and it was behind the counter on, you know, on a shelf at the back of the counter. Christ knows how they expect to sell it there. But anyway, he got it down from a showed it me, and it was in nice condition. Still see my CEX receipt there. This is the one you've got to watch, because this is why I wanted to look at it before I bought it, because it comes with a soundtrack CD, and the chance of getting that in CEX roulette in the post, you know, with the manual and the soundtrack CD was slim. But fortunately, it had got both, and it's in nice condition as well. Again, this is a class game, but I'm struggling with this as well, to be honest. Not so much as Akai Katana. but there's an awful lot going on with this as well. But I mean, it's very, very good. Again, I haven't played it too much, but it definitely needs more time, because it's a class game. Obviously, there's other versions of this on the on the Saturn, and I think it's on the PlayStation as well. Donpachi and Donpachi. I've not ventured into those yet, so this is my first experience of a Donpachi game. But you can only see this rising in price really, any of these shooters on the 360. So like I say, there are 5 PAL ones I think. I've consulted my expert Dylan at Hyper Trigger X. Watched his old videos, which are very informative and very useful to me. So thanks for that, Dylan. Really appreciate them videos. I'll be going back to watch some more of them as I try and look for other 360 shooters. That's Donpachi Resurrection, like I say. And I did get it that bit cheaper in CEX rather than eBay prices. And there's 3 more to get. More of which in future episodes, no doubt. In fact, there may be some more, already some others arrived, which will be in future pickups episodes. Spoiler alert. Right, PS2 next I think. And I haven't bought a PS2, well not a Japanese PS2 game for quite some time, to be honest. And I don't know what made me look really. I think it was just looking at shooters, what you could get. And it got me looking at other PS2 stuff, and it's a slippery slope and you end up looking at stuff you never intended to look at. Anyway, I've had this before, Dead or Alive 2. I had this way back, when it came out, and I can't remember which way around it was, but I think I either had the Dreamcast and then bought this, or had this and then bought the Dreamcast. I can't remember which. It was probably Dreamcast first, being as this was probably after. But anyway, for whatever reason, I haven't got either game now. So I've picked this up anyway, and it's in lovely condition. Much like the Japanese boxes, have got a beautiful sheen on them. I've mentioned it before. It's just something the PAL boxes haven't got. Obviously not all like it after these years, but this has still got it. And, they've just got a lovely smooth feel to the plastic on the box. Beautiful. Anyway, Dead or Alive, what a great game. I mean, it's brilliant. Every version I've played is excellent, and this is no exception. It looks fantastic. Who doesn't enjoy playing Dead or Alive? So, chuffed with that one really, not much to say. I'll put some footage up, obviously you've seen it, but I'm sure you've played it on many things yourself. Anyway, the next one, this is one I've already got on the Dreamcast, and I've got a feeling I've got it on the PAL PS2 as well. But anyway, I've picked up the Japanese one. This is primarily for a project I've got going forwards in the garage, where I'm looking at clearing some space to make room for sort of arcade style cabinets, or cabinet entertainment we'll call it, but it's a fairly mid-term project. But anyway, I've bought this game for that when I get round to it, and I've bought 18 wheeler. Obviously the original was on the Dreamcast and the arcade. I've got my original one for the Dreamcast, but I specifically wanted the Japanese PS2 version for the project I'm going to be doing. I'm looking to get all the Sega arcade races, because I want to do some kind of PS2 driving cab. So this is the first one I've ticked off the list that I hadn't already got. It's still a class game. Obviously it's short, it's an arcade game, but it's classic Sega. It's brilliant. And the parking, I don't know if the parking mode's on them, so I'm assuming it is, but the parking mode on the Dreamcast version was brilliant. But it's a class game, so I was chuffed to get that. I think that one, actually, thinking about it, yes, this one I managed to buy from retrogames.co.uk. Great site, and again, he's got a great channel on YouTube. Jason at Retro Games. Go check him out if you haven't already. Absolutely brilliant. I'll try and remember to put a link in the description, but I'm sure you've watched him. He's such an entertaining dude. He's been away at the moment, but he has put one video up recently, which was great. Right, next PS2 game. Now this is another shooter, and this is one I'd had no experience of in the past. Before, I'd just heard the name, and I just stumbled across this on eBay fairly cheap, and it's Savaria. Now I knew nothing about this. I watched a bit of video before I bought it. It is nice and complete. It seems to be a bit of a bullet hell boss rush type game. I'm not getting on with this. I can't get my head around this at all. You'll see in the footage what it's like. I mean, I'm going to play it again, but I don't know. It's not clicking with me at all, this at the minute. There is a sequel on the Dreamcast as well. I don't know if that's. I'm assuming it's similar. Let me know if you know anything about Savaria, and any tips or hints as to the best approach. But I mean, it looks nice, as you'll see, but I don't know. It was a bit disappointing, but time may improve that possibly. But that's Savaria anyway. Right, now this next one. This was just random eBay browsing that turned this up. I've never seen it before or remember it from back in the day. And I had to have a sort of a Google to find out what it was, because the box looked interesting. And I watched some gameplay and it looked really good. And apparently it's based on some kind of Japanese anime or manga TV cartoon style thing. Anyway, Cyber Formula. Now this is kind of it's an arcade racer really. There's kind of an arcade mode and a story mode. I haven't delved into the story mode yet. I've only been playing it in arcade mode, and it's nice and complete. And I'll put some footage up so you can see it. It looks really nice, runs smooth, plays well. There's a multitude of cars you can choose with different abilities and characters within that. And there's like teams, characters, and drivers you can pick. It's quite comprehensive. But it's a really good game. This what I've played so far. I don't know how to describe it really. It's kind of like Wipeout in style, mixed with more of I wouldn't say Mario Kart, but because it's by no means a kart game, but it's got the kind of look of a Mario Kart style game, or maybe a Formula 1 style game, but it's in no way serious like a Formula 1 game, but with Wipeout style cars. And it's really, really good. I'm chuffed to bits with this. There are a couple of sequels which are much more tricky to find and pricier. So I'm going to hope to get them in the future. This is the only one I've managed to find so far, but after playing this I'll definitely be after those sequels, because it's a belting little game. I'm chuffed to have found that one. Right, quick drink. Right, PS1. Now this is a game I've been after for years really, and I just never seem to find it in the wild, or it always seems to be pricey when I look on eBay. I don't look all the time for it, and I just happened to stumble across this, and it was a really good price, to be honest, and I jumped on it straight away because I knew it it was not the easiest game to find. So I mean, this isn't the Holy Grail item, although it is kind of a mini kind of obsession. I've been wanting this for a while. Anyway, I've picked up Rally d'Africa on the PS1, Japanese obviously. if you can see there on the box, but it's basically a copy of Sega Rally on the PS1. Now there are two versions of this. There's Rally to Africa, which is what I've got, and there's Rally to Europe as well, which I'm also after. But again, that's not easy to find, and if anything, it's more pricey than this one. It's probably 10 a penny in Japan, to be fair, but there never seems anyone selling them in the UK on eBay, and I'll never see them in shops. Yeah, I'm still after Rally to Europe, but this is, I don't know which one came first, to be honest. But anyway, as I say, it's a blatant copy of Sega Rally, as you'll see in the footage. It works on the same principle. You've got, I think there are 4 tracks on this one, which that's the same as Sega Rally, really. But it differs slightly in the fact that you don't go from the first rally to the end rally and progress in position through the 4 rallies. This one works where you start at the back in each rally, and you have to try and win each round. You know, you progress from like 15th to 1st on each round if possible, and then you get points, and then the winner is the one with the most points. So in that way, it's kind of like you know, with the Mario Kart system and the wave race, where you get points for each race, and you know that decides who wins the championship. I mean, it looks and plays really quite well, this, to be honest. Though it does get too tricky on later levels. I've found so far it gets too fast. It starts quite fast, you know, but the sort of easier difficulty, it does allow you to play it quite nicely, where the later difficulties makes it quite tricky. But it looks really nice, and again, you can choose your cars like Sega Rally. I know there's a few more on this, but it's kind of mixed with, it's kind of Sega Rally mixed with a Choro Q or Penny Racers style game. They're like cutesy Japanese cars rather than the serious cars in Sega Rally. Though you can tell what that's styled on. There's like a mini one I use. Kind of like the cars in GTI Club if you played that. But chuffed to have it. Definitely going to be playing this quite a bit more, and I really want that second one. Right, next one. Time's pressing on. 17 minutes already. Dreamcast. I'm not going to mess about. I've picked up Silent Scope. Now I've got this on other systems. Possibly best on Xbox because you've got the complete sort of set on one disc. Silent Scope complete, and you can get that version with a beautiful sort of gun class set. I'd love that, but unfortunately I've only got the game. Obviously it's based on an arcade game. Fantastic game this. If you like a light gun game, this is brilliant. And it's more of a sniper type game. You know, you can zoom in and out. You can zoom out to sort of see where you're going to zoom into the baddies to shoot. And then you click the zoom and you get the sniper lens and you take them out. Absolute class game. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, it's on the PS2 as well. I'm assuming it's probably on the PS1. I don't know. I don't know if it is on the PS1. It's definitely on the PS2 anyway, and Silent Scope 2 is on the PS2. And like I say, the complete disc is on the Xbox. So that's probably the value you want to go for, really. But I mean, if it's cheap on the Dreamcast and you've got a Dreamcast, absolute class game. Love Silent Scope, as I love most light gun games, to be fair. Right. Saturn, the mighty Sega Saturn. Pickups have slowed down a bit for the Saturn recently. I'm finding it more difficult to track down stuff I want for a decent price. However, we've got 3 games here today, and the first one is Destruction Derby. Obviously this started life as a PlayStation game. I think it was a launch game, if I remember right, for the PAL machine. And it was, you know, it was quite novel at the time, you know, crashing cars and destruction damage and everything. It was great at the time. It is complete with the Obi. And I've never played the Saturn version, to be honest. And I haven't got the PS1 version either. I always preferred the sequel, to be honest, rather than this one. But I just stumbled across this one fairly cheap, and I thought, well, I'll risk it. I can't imagine it's quite as good as the PlayStation, because the cross-platform ones generally are better on the PlayStation, aren't they? Especially the 3D ones, anyway. This quite surprised me, though. I think it's quite decent. I think it's aged better than I was expecting. It obviously looks a bit creaky compared with modern games, but it still plays quite well and looks alright, to be honest, as I've put some footage up, I would assume, so yeah, reasonably happy to have that one after all these years. Right, the next one is one I've never had back in the day, and this is another light gun game, and I've picked up Mighty Hits. You can get this, you can get a UK version of this, as you can with Destruction Derby, if you need one. I should have said now, this has got the OB as well, but the holder for the disc is a bit loose. I should have said on those PS2 games, obviously you can get Dead or Alive, Pal, an 18-wheeler. What was the other one? Oh, Savaria. I don't know if that's out, Pal, actually. But Cyber Formula is a Jap exclusive, and Rally to Africa is a Jap exclusive as well on the PS1. And you can get Silent Scope on the Dreamcast, Pal, as well. But yeah, Mighty Hits anyway. It's a light gun game, very much in the style of Point Blank, or Gun Bullet, whatever you want to call it. Whereas it's kind of sort of short mini games, but for the light gun. I mean, it's not as good as Point Blank, but it's really quite decent, to be honest. Good for a quick, 15-20 minutes. They're only quick, short games. Very much, a mini game, just like Point Blank, like I say. I think this is usually around 20 odd quid on PAL. So I seem to remember I found this for a similar kind of price. But it's not one you see that often on Japanese in this country, so I was chuffed to get that, really. And it's not a bad game at all, to be honest. So I'll definitely be playing that a bit more as well. The footage I've showed you is just with the pad, unfortunately. It's obviously far superior with the gun to play. That brings me on to the last Saturn game today, before the Grail item, and this is just an all-time classic series. It's, you can get variations on a multitude of systems. I first played it on the Neo Geo, so that's going to give you a clue. And I've picked up King of Fighters 97. Now this one's obviously in the big box with the RAM cart. You can get just obviously some people just sell the game only, but I've bought the nice box set with the RAM cart. It's not the tidiest box in the world, I've got to say, but it's not too bad. It's decent, it's complete. The game's in reasonable condition. Again, it's not a minter, but it's reasonable. But yeah, who doesn't love King of Fighters? I mean, hard to say which is the best version. I'm sure everybody's got their favourite. I've always got a soft spot for 94 myself, because that's the first one I ever played, and it's stuck with me ever since, really. I remember getting that not long after I got my Neo Geo CD. It was one of, if not the first game I played on it. And it just blew my mind at the time how you could do tag team in like a one-on-one fight. It was just incredible. So I'm absolutely chuffed to have that, and it still looks and plays beautiful today. Who's your favourite King of Fighters character? Gotta be Terry for me. Terry Bogard. Always use Terry on King of Fighters or Fatal Fury. Okay. Right, that leads me, yes, to the Grail item. I've wanted this for absolute years, to be honest with you. I've looked for it on and off, over the years, on eBay primarily. I mean, I've obviously looked in any shops I've gone in, but it's not something you ever see. I've hoped to pick it up at the odd event I've been to, but again, I've had no luck at all. And then all of a sudden one cropped up on eBay a few weeks ago, and it was a UK seller, because primarily, I mean, you can get one any day you want on eBay, but they're always in Japan. And because it's a fairly large item and there's a bit of weight to it, the shipping obviously really buggers the price up if you're shipping it from Japan. Then you've got the import tax, so you're going to probably end up paying, getting on for double what the item's listed for. Hence why I've been waiting for a UK seller, and hey presto, one finally arrived. So what have I bought? Now there has been a clue in the room all this time of the video. Any idea? It's still in the room. Admittedly it's gone off at the minute, but the clues are there. Bit of a shit Lloyd Grousman impression. Yes, we've bought the twin stick controller for the Saturn. Absolutely love this thing, and I just love the box art on it as well. It's just mega cool. I absolutely love it. As I say, I've wanted this for years. I'll get it out of the box if I can. It's just a really rare item that you don't see here at all often. There we go. I just love the design of it. Obviously it's for Virtual On, and there's a handful of other games that do work with it as well, which I've also tracked down by one. I've got all the games that are compatible with it, I think, except one, and that's on my hit list. It does work. It's obviously made for Virtual On, which, you know, I love this game, and I've never been able to play it with a proper stick, so it's gonna. I haven't tried it yet. I'm doing that next. After this video's done, I'm playing Virtual On with these sticks. And that, I don't know if you can hear that, but they're both micro switched. So yeah, it also works with Gun Griffin 2 and Gundam Side Story 2 and 3. So I don't know how playable they're going to be, but anyway, we shall find out. So absolutely chuffed to have ticked that off the list, and it's in lovely condition as well in the box. I mean, I didn't expect to ever get one in the box, to be honest. I'd have been happy with just the sticks. That leaves one controller I'm desperately wanting for the Saturn. I also want the twin sticks for the Dreamcast as well. But again, that's just the same problem as this. They never come up in this country. And one did ironically, a few days after this one sold, there was a Dreamcast one for sale as well. But I got outbid on that, which was a bit of a bugger, to be honest. But never mind. The Dreamcast version, to be fair, looks shit compared with the Saturn one. It's really plain grey and it looks so boring. But nevertheless, you really need it for Virtual On the Dreamcast, because that's bordering on unplayable with the controller, in my opinion. Anyway, I'm digressing. It does leave one controller I desperately want for the Saturn. Anyone into their Saturn probably knows what that is, if I've got this one and I've got the Virtua Stick. One day I hope to add that. But anyway, I think we've waffled on enough today. It's already at half an hour, so thanks for sticking with me if you have, if you've not dropped off. And hopefully, I think probably next week's video will be another pickups, because I still haven't got through my backlog. So I hope you're not sick of pickups, because there's more on the way. So yeah, thanks for watching anyway, and I'll see you soon, all being well. Sayonara.